Developers have been eyeing that coveted block at Church and Maitland for years. It's right in the heart of the gay village, and while community members acknowledge the need for housing, it's got to make sense for the diverse neighborhood.
You really feel gaslit when you say that there's an initial proposal for a certain level of building that's going to be there. It gets approved, and then all of a sudden, the deal changes at the last hour.
That's what happened in the fall. Initially, Greywood Developments had received city approval for a 14-story building, and they promised to restore Cruise and Tangos, a legendary drag bar and heritage building, once construction was complete. Jason Peltier, the man behind drag persona Jezebel Bardot, was as surprised as the rest of the residents to learn that the condo proposal had skyrocketed to 48 stories tall.
So luckily there's some guardrails there that stop that development for now.
Guardrails like public consultation.
And the community came out in droves and said, we do not support this revised application. They want the developer to keep it at 14 stories.
After that December meeting, the Toronto and East York Community Council asked City Council to refuse the 48-story development proposal. Councillor Chris Moyes is optimistic.
If we continue to build as far up as we can, then it also impacts our parks, more specifically Barbara Hall Park. We have the A's Memorial there, we have the Trans Memorial. We don't want any new shadows on the park as well.
But then there's the fight to keep Cruise and Tangos as is. Even though the developers committed to keeping it around, residents didn't like the idea of building a pricey condo on top of it.
The village has really hollowed out, and of course gentrification is critical, and we need to bring more business to the village. But I do worry that the nature of this development, 48 stories, would really impact the fabric of this community in a negative way. It could push lower income queer people that have called this community home for 30 to 40 years. It could push them out of this area.
We are fighting like hell to make sure that that doesn't happen.
In a statement, a representative for Greywood Development says, quote, "Our new submission proposes greater density than what is currently in place as a response to the housing crisis and the site's proximity to rapid transit." They, along with Church-Wellesley residents, await City Council's decision in February. Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.